Well, I wanted to talk about the new Mathews V3 bow that's just coming out right now. And, you know, I have to, little disclaimer, I've been a Mathews guy since 1992. Long time. And so I'm a little biased. I've only shot Mathews during that time, and I like them, rely on them for my career, my profession, and of course my passion for whitetail hunting. And that's what this review is about. It's about hunting whitetails, and it's more of a hunting review. There's a lot more technical reviews, people that do that almost for a living, and I hunt for a living, and so I rely on my bows for what I do, and of course my love of all things whitetail. We'll get into the specs of this and my personal specs with this bow and the performance as far as it relates to that. But I want to talk a little bit about the hunting and really, maybe it's I'm used to tuning these Mathews and shooting them, but these bows, when I've gotten them, I got this middle of October and was able to quickly take it right out of the box, throw a few dozen arrows through it, and have it sighted in. And that's one thing I love about these bows, is very easy to sight in, to tune. It's shooting about 282 feet a second. The VXR that I had was about 279, 280, right around there. So they did add 2 or 3 feet a second, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Great thing, especially for someone like me with a 27-inch draw length, little stubby arms. But again, easy to take out of the box and actually set up, shoot, and take right out into the woods. And I took it right out into the woods. And I had the great fortune of, in the end of October, great cold front night, there's a buck that we've been after and watching all year on our new Minnesota property, and his name is Kermit. I called him Kermit. Beautiful buck. We got a video of him the end of June. He was huge, and he was one I wanted right from the beginning. There's another buck, 7.4, another one, Negan too, that we were after, but Kermit was definitely top on the list, and able to get this bow out, sight it, get to know it, and take it right out to the woods right away. And it was just on the third or fourth sit that I was able to run in with Kermit. And what was really cool about this, Kermit came in a little bit quartering towards me. He was a little bit cockeyed, and it was, I believe, a 32-yard shot. I was able to put 30-yard pin on him. Felt extremely comfortable taking a good shot. Made a shot. He went about 70 yards. I watched him go down. And really, when it comes to a hunting bow, that's what you want. I felt comfortable with it right away. And one thing I've really enjoyed with this is the VXR. I had the 28-inch. I also have the 31.5. And I like both the lengths. I think you can make a case for either one. The 31.5, I've enjoyed shooting out to 100 yards in the yard and practicing. But I was really excited with the V3 to get a hold of this 27-inch model. Almost looks like a little toy. Of course it's not, but I've really enjoyed this 27-inch platform right here for hunting. In the stand, hanging on my bow hook, everything about it says hunting. But the cool thing is, you'll notice with Mathews bows, the riser keeps getting longer, and the most consistent portion of the entire bow is the riser. It doesn't move. It's static. So with the longer riser, this riser right here, I believe, is just about the same length as the axle to axle. They're really getting close to that if it's not there already. And what that allows you to do is the limbs are shorter, the most parallel limbs that Mathews ever had. Like I said, the axle to axle is about the same length as the riser. When that happens, it feels like you're shooting more of a target bow. It aims better. The longer riser is a great positive for not only aiming the bow, but the accuracy of the bow as well. What's really cool about these bows and that transformation of that smaller riser, big limbs, again, those limbs, they're movable. Back in the day when the tolerances weren't that great, the limbs are fighting each other back and forth, inconsistent for accuracy, and then inconsistent for transfer of energy. And what they've been able to do with the bows and the V3 is the next step of the evolution is to actually take these bows and transfer more energy to the arrow itself. When that happens, the stored energy, when you draw back, you have that stored energy in the bow. More of that energy centers right down to the arrow, pushes that arrow forward. And that's a great thing because as more energy is transferred to the arrow, less energy is transferred to the bow, the parts, and the vibration that's caused by having that energy transfer to the portions that are non-arrow. That means that wasted energy causes vibration, it causes noise, causes inaccuracy. And think about some of the bows. I'm thinking back into the late 80s. That's when I started shooting Dart and 30 MX back in 1985. So that's going back a ways. You know, PSE Fireflight was back in there, maybe 88, 89. I remember shooting that bow at up to 94 pounds at that time. And that bow at 94 pounds was not equal to in kinetic energy with this bow at 61. And that's a great thing. But over all those years, more energy is transferred to the arrow. And that's the great thing about these bows. When the riser's longer, the stored energy is not wasted. And that's what's created this V3 today. It's really a transformation and evolution every single year. Like I said, this bow is about 2 to 3 feet a second faster than the VXR, a little bit quieter, and even the VXR won a lot of awards for actually how quiet it is. It's one of the quietest bows that's ever been created, if not the quietest. Now you have the V3, which is a little bit quieter than that. So just keeps evolving. I like all the pieces of the bow. They have the same cam system, the switch weight technology that gets more efficiency out of the stored energy. I love the silent connect system. On all my ropes, on all my tree stands, I can just take a loop, put it around there. They sell a actual rope that you can use with this. I have looped cord on my tree stand, so on the top or the bottom. The quivers, always love these Mathews quivers. And you can see I can take this off right here, and they are completely silent. Taking it on and then putting it off, putting it back on. Extremely quiet. You can put it on without making any type of sound. They have the Ultra rest, integrated Ultra rest again on this bow. They've changed the cable guard a little bit right here, but pure hunting bow. I'm shooting 27-inch draw. I'm shooting approximately 61 pounds. It's about 282 feet a second. I remember back in the day, you went from a no-cam bow. I think I was in the 257, 259 feet a second, and then we went into the Halon 32, the Triax, Vertex, and VXR. And what I've enjoyed with my little stubby arms is actually being able to get up to that 280 feet a second. Now you say speed doesn't really matter. Some people say that, but it really does. Your trajectory matters. If you're gonna miss a deer or not, you know, some of the bows that are shooting 220 feet a second with an ultra heavy arrow, there's just no room for any kind of error in your range estimation. And so I like getting it up around that 280 feet a second. And I'm shooting an arrow that's 412 grains. I'm shooting a Victory. It's a VF TKO and 350 weight. So that arrow with a 100 grain head is right around 412 grains, which is a good fit for me. I'm shooting 61 pounds. I don't like to be overbowed. I like to be able to point at the deer and pull directly straight back. So I'm not lifting my bow in any way. I don't have to do the sky draw because my bow weighs too much. So for me, right-handed, 61 pounds, 412 grain arrows, about 282 feet a second. It's a perfect fit, perfect whitetail combination. And again, that's what it goes back to. I love this bow for hunting, the 27-inch draw, or 27-inch axle to axle, parallel limbs, shoots perfect. And it's one of those where, you know, for me, if someone told me it was a good bow and it shoots well, you know, after a week, it feels like second nature. It feels like a great bow. But if you're not used to shooting bows and changing bows all the time, I encourage you to go to the archery store and actually try it out, shoot it. And one thing that I do notice with pulling this bow back compared to the VXR, it is, to me, smoother on the draw, has a definite stop back here, just silky stop right at that last full draw. Not the really hard bouncy wall that might have been in the past with some of the previous models. And I'm going back to a Mathews Vapor, you know, all the way back. That would have been in the mid-90s, in that range back in there. Some of the harder drawing Mathews. This is silky smooth, and that's something that's been improved too. I think in every way you can improve the bow. they have, which is amazing because the VXR was awesome, the Vertex was awesome, the Triax, you know, they're all those little improvements with every model that comes along. I've been extremely happy with. And again, you know, if you want some of the more technical details, there's some sites out there for that or other channels. But for me, it's all about the hunting. And to be able to set it up right away, get it into the woods, and actually take out my target buck, which was incredible too. I had my stepson Dante filming in the stand with me, and to be able to experience that with the recovery and watching him go down, you know, and have him there in the tree with me too. Have the new bow here. It was very exciting, obviously, to say the least. And you know, I couldn't be happier with the bow, really. And I always look forward to the bows because they never disappoint. There's always those improvements. So whether it's being quieter, whether it's just longer riser, easy to aim, it shoots like a target bow. You know, I think of some of the 3D bows I shot in the past, 15, 20 years ago even, and think about this bow now at 27 inches and how forgiving it is and how fast it is, that perfect combination, and how quiet it is, how there's no vibration, how it just simply rolls in your hand straight forward, very balanced, easy to hunt with, easy to tune. And it's crazy to think how far the bows have come, even though the materials have not changed that much. The engineering has really improved, and the tolerances, and I encourage you to go check it out. I've had fun this year hunting with it. I've had a lot of success already, and I know if you try it, you're going to enjoy it. I'm not disappointed. I look forward to them every year again. I'm biased. I love my Mathews bows, and I have for a very, very long time. And I see no need to change because it meets my needs for not only my career and my profession, but my love of all whitetails and getting out here and hunting, which is what we were doing this morning out here in the stand. It's November 16th, and I'm in Wisconsin. I'm enjoying the property here. And you can bet I'll be sitting in the stand for a lot more hours and a lot more days with this bow this year, as much as I can. Try it out. I think you'll love it. Take a few shots with it, and really enjoy it if you get and you're blessed to be able to own and shoot one of these Mathews V3s this year. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, you're obviously interested in whitetail habitat solutions, what I have to teach, and you will love my new web class series. The first one is how to design your whitetail property. It's out now. The link is in the description. I invite you to check it out. It's on my website. Can't wait to hear about it.